Why 20 chains eventually? What do I even mean by that? Did you know that recently Zebec made a post and it was showcasing how Simon, the CEO of Zebec, said that when it comes to the super app in terms of the mobile version, they're going to first start off with 10 chains and eventually go to 20 chains when it comes to the card side of things to match the desktop version. I think that right there is such an amazing ambition, and I think it could very well allow for better adoption when it comes to Zebec moving forward. And I'll give my rationale in today's video, even though nothing I say is financial advice, and even though I am not telling anyone to do anything. So we already know that earlier on this year, Zebec launched the super app, but that was a desktop version. And a lot of people thought that, wow, if they launch the mobile version, is it going to be a watered down version of the desktop version, like what we see with a lot of other projects out there that initially launch something pretty cool, but then when they make the mobile version, they make it like a very bad version of what they originally launched. So a lot of people were kind of worried that might be the case. But you know what? When it comes to Simon, apparently he's going to be matching eventually, I guess, the chain supported on the mobile version with the desktop version, which I think is a big 2 thumbs up for me because it showcases that Zebec is actually serious about the super app. The super app, by the way, it's nothing that reinvented the wheel. That is not the case whatsoever. It was just what a lot of other projects have. Basically, a lot of projects out there have apps. It's nothing new. But the amazing thing about the super app when it comes to Zebec is that it's a way to consolidate a lot of the aspects when it comes to Zebec and just kind of puts it into one place. Like for instance, we take a look at the cards, the payrolls. It just streamlines a lot of the aspects when it comes to Zebec, puts it in one central location, just makes it a lot better, in my opinion. So of course, naturally, having the desktop version, it was the first victory, but now the crowning achievement could very well be the mobile version. But still, testing is apparently in the final stages. It's underway, but now we do know that apparently the mobile version is not going to be a watered down version of the desktop version. We now know that apparently it's going to be somewhat matching the desktop version in terms of the chains supported, especially when it comes to the card side of things, at least eventually. They're going to start with 10 chains first, then eventually move on to 20. Why does that matter though? Well, it's because the more chains that are supported, that could promote better adoption, it could promote better notoriety, and also more attention when it comes to Zebec, and also more specifically the super app. Why is that a good thing? Well, it's because, again, why would that be a bad thing? Someone told me the other day, oh, why doesn't Zebec just only focus on Solana? After all, Solana Ventures is a backer when it comes to Zebec. Zebec has an aspect of Solana. People like to say, why not just focus on that? Well, I understand that, but at the same time, the user base when it comes to Solana, even though it's massive, it is very limited. If we consider supporting, let's say, 20 chains, that right there is just going to be so massive because not everyone wants to only use Solana. Some other people out there may want to use other chains. It's not only just going to be that. So it just opens the doors. It's like, for instance, imagine if I opened up like a shoe store and I only sold shoes that are colored green. If that was the case, that's going to be very limiting, right? Because not every single person out there is going to want to buy only green shoes. They may want other colors. So that's why it would be very limiting, right? Why not release 20 colors or 10 colors or something like that? And I think when it comes to something in the case of Zebec, they're taking that exact same principle, but when it comes to the super app, at least when it comes to not only the desktop version, but also the mobile version as well. So again, it's only natural that Zebec being focused on more places, it's not a bad thing. And I don't think it's being disloyal to Solana. I don't think about it that way because it's like, for instance, if let's say we buy a car and we buy like Bridgestone tires, it doesn't mean we're disloyal to the vehicle. I mean, it's just like a different brand, whatever, right? Different brands have different purposes. It's not like it all just only has to be one thing. So when it comes to something like Zebec, again, it's not that they are being disloyal to Solana. It's called being smart, in my opinion, and actually having more chains supported, I think the better it'll be. Now, keep in mind, right, again, we're so close to the end of May, in which case this kind of gets me a little bit excited. The reason why is because before the end of this month, again, apparently a major partnership is going to be announced. And I already mentioned this before, but every time I don't mention it, everyone kind of calls me out as to why I never mentioned it. So I'll just mention it real quick again. There's going to be a large bank in Europe that's actually going to mark the first time ever Zebec and this partnership with Stellar is going to have a use through that, I guess, European bank, which is going to be announcing a partnership with Zebec before the end of this month. That's really impressive. So again, if we take a look at that right there, they're already in the final stages of the super app when it comes to the mobile version. They're going to be having apparently a new partnership with a big bank in Europe. I like what Zebec is planning so far, but we'll wait and see. I mean, we're so close to the end of May, so yeah, again, I mean, basically less than 10 days from right now, we could very well see some major announcements when it comes to Zebec. So I'm still a fan when it comes to that. And keep in mind, Zebec doesn't stop here. They still have ambitions moving forward. We haven't even really seen the Ripple partnership have any sort of use yet when it comes to Zebec. We do know that for quite a while now, XRPL is one of the supported chains when it comes to Zebec, so that wasn't any sort of surprise, but we haven't really seen the Ripple and Zebec partnership really have any sort of, I guess, results as a, result of that, I would say. Whereas we're about to see that in regard to the Zebec and Stellar partnership. Again, that major bank in Europe, which is going to be announcing a partnership with Zebec before the end of this month, that's going to mark the first ever time they're going to be utilizing the Zebec and Stellar partnership. Pretty impressive. What a way to start it off, right? I'm curious how they're going to start off the Ripple partnership, though. That's pretty interesting. If they're already starting off the Stellar one with a very big bank, allegedly, imagine what the Ripple one could do. So yeah, that's something that I might have to look forward to, but we'll wait and see as of right now. However, when we take a look at it, people like to say, wow, Zebec, the pullback, the decrease has been almost 2.5% in the past 24 hours. Yes, that's true, but we have to consider as well, the things that Zebec is planning goes far beyond 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours and so on. They are focused more so on what things could be years moving forward. It's like, for instance, if we take a look at the super app, that may not cause instant sort of hype. It may not cause instant attention, but that is really and greatly, I think, going to help Zebec in terms of moving forward, especially when it comes to simplicity. Because again, if they have the payrolls, the cards, and stuff like that all in one place, that makes it easier for Zebec to have better adoption. It's going to make it easier for people to actually care about that, and inherently, it's just going to be better long term, in my opinion. It's kind of no different, like, for instance, let's say we want to buy a pair of shoes. We don't want one that's overcomplicated. We want one that's easy. We want one that's easy to use. So that's why I think it matters a lot. But as of right now, again, we do know that they're planning 20 chains eventually when it comes to what's supported on the mobile version of the super app in regards to the cards. And it's going to apparently match the desktop version. Again, so impressive because usually, again, like I mentioned earlier on this video, people launch something in the space, they hype it up, they think it's awesome. Then eventually, when they want to launch the second version or the third version, or they want to do the mobile version, it suddenly becomes worse and worse and they don't care about it anymore. Again, Zebec is kind of flipping the script and saying, you know what, we're not going to be doing that. We're actually going to treat it seriously. So again, I'm a really big fan when it comes to the mentality, when it comes to Zebec, and most importantly, I think Simon, the CEO of Zebec, he's apparently doing his thing. He's doing his job properly, in my opinion. Other projects out there, it seems like the CEO is taking it a little bit more relaxed, but this one is a little bit different. However, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward while I continue to wait. And I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a very nice day. It's been Lee the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.